So I'm learning that self-talk motivates our behavior and influences our lifestyle. And our expert today teaching us this life lesson is life coach Caroline Jane Lee. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I think it's a topic that a lot of people might wonder, what does this really mean, the power of words? I know I did until I started kind of researching this episode. So I think we should just get that out. What does the power of words really mean?
Well, have you ever heard of somebody, bullying someone? At the very beginning you talked about sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Now, I grew up listening to that.
Me too.
And it's so not true. We look at the epidemic of bullying all over the world, and invariably it's with words. And there's cyberbullying going on right now. So the power of words to harm are incredible, and we have to be mindful of the words that we, say to other people, and also the words we say to ourselves.
Which I never really thought of, that the words that I say to myself on a daily really affect my way of thinking. But they do.
Oh, huge.
So
huge.
Tell me, what are the effects of these negative self-chatters that we have with ourselves?
Well, the thing is, the mind doesn't know the difference between good, bad, or ugly.
Right.
And I always remember a great story from Anthony Hopkins when he was doing Hannibal Lecter.
Okay.
Remember that terrible movie?
Yeah.
And he said...
It's a great movie!
It was a scary movie.
It was a scary movie.
And he said he was mindful of being on the set for 16 hours, but then going home and going back into being Anthony Hopkins and not Hannibal Lecter, because of all the time he had spent during the day being that character and saying those terrible words. The mind doesn't know the difference between the truth or fake.
Right, you can convince yourself.
Exactly.
That's who you are.
That's who you are.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Heath Ledger.
Tell me what happened. Tell me. Give us this insight.
So, when Heath Ledger was making the movie The Joker, he took on that role so deeply that he couldn't come out of the role when he'd finished his day at the studio. And so he started taking, sleeping pills and all that sort of thing, and basically overdosed. But they talked about the fact that his mind was so entrenched in being the Joker that he forgot to be Heath.
Right.
And so it took over. So when we constantly tell ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'm useless, like Stanford did for the longest time, when he was measuring himself against other people.
Dave Stanford, the gentleman we saw in the first segment.
Right. He constantly left himself feeling short, that he just wasn't good enough. And so what I did when I came to him was show him that the words he was telling himself were not the truth, and that he was absolutely perfect, whole, and complete as he was, and he absolutely was good enough. And we need to tell ourselves that all the time.
So is there a fine line between that type of conversation we have with ourselves and criticism? Because I think it's also important to look at yourself and look at your work or whatever it is, your parenting skills, your relationships, and criticize that and say, you know what, Dina, that wasn't good enough. And I think, is there a fine line between the two?
Well, let me ask you about the word criticism. How does it land for you if I say criticism or critique?
I feel like they're both the same.
So I'd like to critique the way I'm, raising my child.
Okay.
Rather than I'm going to criticize the way I'm raising my child. Doesn't it sound better?
Yeah, it does.
I'm just going to tweak it, critique it, but I'm going to criticize. So that automatically sets me up to think I've done something wrong.
Right.
And that's
You're right.
where we go. Oh my gosh, I've done something wrong. So
just changing that one word puts a positive spin on it.
Exactly.
What about the word I'll try? What do you think about I'll try?
Well, it's like saying, well, it's a bit wishy-washy, isn't it?
That's why I'm asking you.
Doesn't it feel wishy-washy?
It does feel wishy-washy.
I'll try.
It could be a good excuse for some. Oh, I'll try.
Well, I'll try, but I don't think I'll do it.
Yeah.
I might try, but I don't think I will.
So would you use the word I try? Would you say that that's a negative?
I would try to find something a little bit more affirmative. I will do it. I will do it to my best ability. To say I will try is like, well, I'll try, but if I don't do it, that's okay.
Right.
So I will do it to the best of my ability.
So even to our children, try your best.
Well, then you've matched the two, haven't you?
Yeah.
I will try my best.
Yeah.
Or I will do it to my best.
Which hopefully my child will take it as, yes, you will do your best and you will achieve what you possibly can to its fullest and maximum. Okay, so what are some ways that we can, or what are not ways, but what are some of the positive chatter we can give ourselves? What are some of the things that we can say to ourselves on a daily?
Well, I would say, I am worthy.
Because
a lot of people have, let's say, money issues.
Right.
Money issues are a huge mindset. I just went through a whole program recently. We talked about that. So your money mindset can really make a difference in the way you're showing up in your life. And so I am worthy of abundance. And we have to understand that a lot of people don't recognize that the universe is listening.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
But the reality is that the words that you say to yourself and that you put out to the world is a mirror for you. So, Mike Daly, who wrote a great book called Leveraging the Universe, talks about the fact that if you want to know what a thought looks like, look around you. Because your house, your job, your car, you have created that with your thoughts and your words. So
you believe that, because we do hear a lot of that. You say you're putting it out there in the universe. That's what people say. So how does that work then?
Because
I don't understand.
I know.
It.
So it's a long conversation. We might not have time.
We've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
So in a nutshell,
yeah.
Basically the universe is like your genie in a bottle.
Okay.
And the universe has laws that we need to adhere to: law of nature, law of gravity, law of abundance, lots of laws. So when we put something out there and we declare that I want X, X will show up. Last year, just as a side, I declared in April I was going to Italy because I'd never been to Italy, and I was going to go in September. And a month later I met somebody and I declared that to him, and we got into a relationship, and he took me to Italy in September.
So you're in love above all, too.
There you go. See, who would have known? So
and
that was completely out of the blue.
I think a lot of people struggle with even finding love, and they put it out into the universe. And I know that people do say that, and people do try and do it, and they put out these affirmations into the world. How long will it take to come to them then?
It depends. There might be some that are short, and there might be some that take a couple of years. I've got lots of stories I could tell you about that, but it does happen. It does show up.
So you will help your clients find the most effective route on how to proclaim these wants or needs, and how to get there the quickest?
And yeah, and there's tons of books out there. Think and Grow Rich talks about it, and that was written in the 30s.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to get some of your little tidbits and advice on how we can manifest all of these positive things that we want to happen to ourselves and to our life when we come back. So don't go anywhere. We're showing you how to actually change this hindering habit of bad self-chatter. Stay with us.